Hi friends, welcome to the Get Cozy and Read-athon that Rachel Marie is currently doing. I think it's such a great idea to just take the time currently in the midst of all this panic and anxiety and, uncertainty, and just relax at home if that's at all possible and try to kind of get your mind off of it, because honestly, beyond the obvious, like washing your hands and staying away from people who are in the risk group and just being smart about it, there isn't much that we right now can do. And it kind of feels helpless, obviously. So I think it's really nice to have this opportunity to just like take a step back and just, relax for a bit at least. And I really wanted to participate, and honestly, full disclosure, it's currently Friday 5 p.m. and I'm starting it now because I want to. I'm just gonna do it. I know officially the readathon doesn't start until midnight, but I do have the time and I'm already reading anyway. So starting off, I just kind of wanted to show you the books I'm planning to read this weekend. I know the readathon is about being cozy and relaxing and, yeah, as I said, trying to get your mind off of it. I think that's how I interpret it, at least. And that I think means different things for everyone. Some people might just want to read like contemporaries, like fluffy books, really lighthearted stuff, which is totally fine, and I totally can relate to that to some extent. But for me right now, I feel like I really want to read mysteries, and I think there isn't much, honestly, that I find cozier than a mystery. I often get just exasperated with contemporaries when they're like overly cutesy or cheesy, or I don't really know. Sometimes I just, I'm not interested in them. So for this video, I'm just gonna show you, I've picked out 4 books for now. The first book is what I'm actually already reading, and that is the book that has like inspired me to want to read mysteries for the rest of the weekend, and that is The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson. This is the final book in the Truly Devious trilogy. I'm like 50 pages in, and honestly, I will say I forgot so much from book 2 that I had to read a recap of it, and I was like, oh yeah, that was a thing, I remember now. I have high hopes for this book to be much better than The Vanishing Stair, and I'm excited to see what the mystery is all about, figure it out in this book. Next book I want to try to get to is Platform 7 by Louise Doughty. This is the Literally Dead book club pick for the month, and I actually started this book already a couple days ago, but I didn't get further than like 30 pages because it is really slow paced, and that's like the first thing I noticed about it. It's like, oh, this is slow. There are so many descriptions, and it's just, everything is just happening at a very chill pace. So we'll see. And then next I have kind of a random one. I ordered this online secondhand recently because I saw it and I was like, that sounds interesting. Never heard anyone talk about it, but sounded interesting. And that's called The Sea Detective by Mark Douglas Home. And it sounds really cool because it has like this very different aspect to it that I've never encountered before. The main person being a oceanographer and kind of using his knowledge of the sea to solve cases. Sounds really interesting. And then finally, for some more quick mystery fun, I have The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. I have recently read another book by her. I really enjoyed it, and I hope that I like this one too. I actually also started this one like a while ago, but I instantly lost interest again because it just didn't grip me from the beginning. So hopefully now, having read In a Dark Dark Wood recently and kind of coming off of that with a very positive impression, I hope that I will have a better time with this one. I know this isn't everyone's favorite, anyone's favorite, I don't know. I know this isn't one of her best ones, but I am hopeful regardless. 3 past midnight. Let me show you. So that means the readathon is officially starting. I've just finished editing my book haul, which will go up tomorrow. And now I'm gonna keep reading. I've been kind of reading throughout the afternoon, but honestly, not that much because I kept getting distracted by social media. What else is new? So I'm still not that far into it. Let me see. I'm on page 109. So I did, got through a third or so, but it's not that far. I thought I was gonna finish it today, so no, that didn't happen. Okay, so maybe 4 books was a little bit too ambitious for this weekend. Okay, we'll see. I'm really excited. Actually, do think I should probably go to bed fairly soon because Rachel has asked me to co-host the first live read-in tomorrow, which is at 9 a.m. So that's kind of early, but I'm excited about it. I think it's gonna be really, really fun. And yeah, can't wait to just fully get this weekend started. I think, the last few days and generally almost weeks, specifically last week, has been very tumultuous, very up and down. Like every single day it feels like major decisions have been made that affect like everyone in the country, that like affect everything in your daily life, and that's a lot to take in at once. And also it kind of makes you feel like you constantly have to be on your phone, checking the latest blogs and whatever, like the news blogs, to make sure that you don't miss anything of like the major things, even though it's not like they require immediate action, but you do want to feel like you're aware of what's going on. So that is like constant pressure, I feel like, in the back of my head, and I'm really ready to just like not worry about that so much for the next 2 days at least, and just relax. You want to say hi to my vlog? Vlogception. Saturday, almost 7 p.m. and I have finally finished The Hand on the Wall, and oh my god, why is this such a shit book? Why is this series so disappointing? I mean, with the first book being so good and having such a like fun premise and so much potential, what happened? When did this become such a shit show? I'm so devastated. This book is aimless as heck. The main conflict changes about halfway through the book, and then we spent like 100 pages worrying about something that's completely unrelated to everything we've just been worried about. And then it switches back to the old thing. So essentially it was just like, what do we do for these pages? I guess we'll just make up something that's suddenly a thing now, and then suddenly isn't anymore. The mystery is fine, I think, by itself, but it mostly is revealed through flashbacks instead of Stevie actually figuring things out organically. So you're not following Stevie, you're just like reading about something that happened in the past and then following Stevie as she like later figures the thing out that you already read about. And it's really boring. There's no suspense, there's no tension, there's no like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Like there's nothing of the kind, because it just isn't kept a secret for long enough from the reader. I also violently hate the romance in the series. I think it is such a failure, to be perfectly honest. I love romances in these books because they just add like a little spice, a little interest, a little extra tension to like a YA mystery. But honestly, in this case, it was a waste of freaking time. David is such a little shit for most of the book. Like, I wanted to punch him in the face most of the time. He's so mad at Stevie for like a random thing that she did, that he's just like endlessly mad at her for. Like, he's pouting. I'm telling you, like, sitting in a corner, staring daggers at her, like not talking to her specifically. excluding her from conversations, asking her pointed questions, like really pointing out moments where she's weak, that like actively causing her emotional pain basically by being a complete idiot, knowing that she feels terrible about what she did, and just like, he's such an ass. And then their conflict is just resolved with nothing. Like, it's not actually resolved, but all of a sudden they're not mad at each other anymore, and it's just like, why? You didn't work through anything. You didn't even talk about it. You didn't do anything to make this work. It just all of a sudden worked again, and it makes absolutely no sense. It's so frustrating. And also, why is Stevie just like so willing to even take him back? Like, she never once questioned his overreaction to her actions. She never once told him to just cut the bullshit, stop being such a whiny little bitch, and just like get over it, or at least not treat her like such complete garbage anymore. No, she just accepts it for most of the book, and then it's like, oh god, finally he likes me again for whatever reason, but he likes me again, so everything's fine and we don't have to discuss this thing anymore that was a problem for like this entire book. Why? This is so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary, and it's just really, really frustrating because I thought they could have been a cute relationship, but it's just so bad. It's so bad. Like, don't. Oh, I hate them so much together. I really, really do. Also, Stevie does barely any investigating. Like, as I said, she figures stuff out after you already know through the flashbacks mostly, but then also she doesn't even do really anything. Like, she follows like maybe 2 clues in this whole entire book. It's almost 400 pages, and there's just so much nothing in here. And it's the same as with book 2. Like, there's so much filler, there's so much meandering, so much waffling and nothing, and just like filling time, wasting time to get to like the one thing that the author actually invested energy into developing. Everything else is a complete shit show. So I'm disappointed, can you tell? I really dislike this. I'm giving it probably another 2 stars, like the first book, not the first, like the second book, because it's not the worst of the worst things ever, or I would give it a 1, and I did kind of enjoy it, but genuinely I'm so annoyed that like I wasted my time on the series because I had such high hopes that it would pick up again for book 3, but no. It was a shit show, obviously. So next I'm going to move on to something that's hopefully going to be less frustrating for me. And I'm going to be reading The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. I think I could read this fairly quickly. So maybe I could finish this book today, but I honestly don't know because I'm already kind of tired. And we'll see how much motivation I have to read this. If it does get better than like my first experience of it, as I mentioned earlier, it was kind of going slow and I wasn't super invested in it, but we'll see. I'm here to do this. Cozy reading, yay.
Oh my god, you subscribe to my website? Wait a minute, are you Castle Freak 120? Castle Lover 45?
You do realize that most people would be creeped out by crazy anonymous fans.
Like you.
Sunday, exactly midnight, meaning the read-athon is over. I'm sorry, I'm already really tired. I finished The Woman in Cabin 10. I was reading most of today, but also just watching a lot of news because there were some changes again in Austria, and I know the point of the read-athon was trying to like, not necessarily like turn a blind eye to what was going on, but more so take a break from it, and I didn't manage to do that at all. Next week's gonna be really interesting. Everything is closing, all non-essential shops basically, and I don't know how that's gonna go. They're also closing all public places like parks and stuff, because apparently some people were going even this weekend, having like parties in the park or something, which is so stupid. But anyway, that's besides the point. I spent most of the day reading, and so I finished A Woman in Cabin 10. I'm giving this 2 stars as well. Unfortunately, both of the books that I finished doing this readathon were duds. I thought this one wasn't all that interesting and not that suspenseful, and the reveal is like absolutely ridiculous, and I just wasn't invested. Like, I never wanted to continue reading, and so far this is definitely my least favorite Ruth Ware. I mean, this was not good. And then I also started 3 Wishes by Liane Moriarty. I know this wasn't on my initial TBR, but I honestly just really felt like it. But her book's also kind of mysteries in a sense. And I just really felt like picking one of them up, especially since this one is actually on my project TBR, oops, for the year. And I wanted to read it. So I'm now on page 105 of like 370. So I did get through almost a third. But yeah, didn't finish it. It was very delusional and very ambitious to think that I could finish like 3 books. But that's okay. I still read quite a bit, and I have the whole day tomorrow to read as well. So I'm definitely gonna finish this and then read some other books. I've already read so much in March. I think this might actually be my 10th book for March, and it's only the 15th, so ooh, that's kind of cool. So yeah, but I guess this is where I'm gonna end this reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was really boring. I feel like doing reading vlogs for just like 2 days is difficult because you obviously don't get to that much, and you don't do that much, especially right now when you're not supposed to leave your house. So I hope you still enjoyed it. Let me know if you did, and come back soon for another video. Have a lovely week. Bye.